plan was to explore England's south and hopefully find a few dinosaur traces. We also discovered very peculiar weather. It wasn't much of a surprise. We decided not to fly this time, but 6 trains and 1 ferry was definitely stretching it a bit. Train number 5, and almost there.
So, on est arrivé!
En
Rouen!
The next morning we had a walk through the beautiful town before continuing the journey. Looks lovely with a bit of sunshine on it now.
Now, is that not ideal?
Mm-hmm.
You have to walk next to your bike. You have to walk.
We have just arrived at the Meridian Monument. In other words, the 0 degree of longitude. The same line that goes through Greenwich. There won't be any speeding on this road.
Our route went from Newhaven via the South Downs, the Isle of Wight and a lot of Dorset to Exeter.
I feel as if I'm trespassing here, but this is where Canute is sending us. A bridle way. They've had their share of rain. I did want to wash my shoes, Kurt's right, but I definitely don't want to put my foot down here.
We did expect it to be wet. After all, it's England. What we didn't expect was how cold it still was, and even worse, how windy it is.
So we spent late afternoon yesterday looking for somewhere to stay, and we were sent down to this pub where you could supposedly camp behind. They knew nothing about that, but they sent us over to this farmyard. So here we are camping in the garden with the cocks and the chickens and the ducks. We just set up camp here, where I get a text on my phone. Hi Dorina, I'm down at the pub. You can camp at my vineyard if you like. In England.
So, second day in the South Downs and Ups. It's still very windy. Oh, there's a carpintero. Lovely quiet roads out here. As I mentioned, the wind, it's brutal. Obviously low tide.
This is Osborne House, where Queen Victoria and Prince Albert spent as much time as possible. Well, it's a huge area, and seemingly the kids used to love coming down to have their seaside holidays. So Queen Victoria actually died in her bed here. Not a bad little pad. This is where Queen Victoria used to come for swim. But she had what was called a bathing machine, which intrigues me. Looking at the latter pictures of Queen Victoria, I imagine some kind of a hoist that's going to drop her into the water. So this was in fact the bathing machine. It was brought out into the water on rails. She got dressed inside, came down the steps, and was able to pop into the water without being seen because the curtain hung all around this little veranda sticking out.
You know, Darina doesn't have a clue where the path is going. It's just called Coastal Way. But she follows it with a lot of conviction. And it might be good. And maybe it just leads us down some garden path. It's pretty wild. It's a cool bicycle path, I have to give it that. Bah! No, that's what I didn't want. Bah! It's not getting better. The wind is really blasting us. Okay, there's a lot of thatches here. The old village of Shanklin. Now this cycle path looks a bit like an old railway line. And you know, when the sun is out and the wind is behind the hedge, it's actually lovely. You wanted the 99. So yeah, as I was saying, we had the most horrible windy section before. Uphill, side wind, blown all over the place for no reason at all. I mean,
And I was quite happy to push my bike.
yeah. I would have skipped the view of these white cliffs for the sofa back home actually. So after a 99 and an instant coffee, we're out in the wind again. Even going down is hard work. And you know, wherever this wind is going, it's a place that has air, so it's pointless. Absolutely pointless. Rena is spotting dinosaurs.
Here I am on the Dinosaur Coast, and I've been looking for fossils of dinosaurs, and look what I've just found. What could well be a vertebrae of a dinosaur, maybe even 2 or 3. Court would probably tell me I have a vivid imagination, but I'm willing to believe it. I found some dinosaur vertebrae. So, seemingly down on this beach, below where we are, there are, in fact, dinosaur prints, but it was low tide at 5 o'clock this morning. So
There's no getting the Rena out of sleeping bag.
Oh, well, definitely not. And so at 10 o'clock now, of course, we've no chance to walk along the beach to see these dinosaur prints. But I'm happy with the vertebrae I found yesterday. Oh, the wind is back. Whee! Oh, we climbed up here with the promise of a view, and I have an ocean. It's not going to be great. Woo! I wonder why there's nobody up here. The famous needles, and there's not a soul in sight. senior discount then, Kurt?
Of course, you see, she's 16 plus and I'm 60 plus. I feel like a real cradle snatcher now.
And so you are. Would you like to give us a summary of the Isle of Wight?
No.
You've never been there?
Did you have fun there then?
We got blown around the place.
Good morning. I just wanted to show the tenement we organized yesterday after we got drenched. But I'll have you know, it's all dry now. It's a beautiful room actually. This is where we went uphill yesterday because it just looked like slush down here and definitely no hotel. And I was in a bad mood. Don't like headwind and rain and all that shite, being drenched. But yeah, a bit of pampering goes a long way. A nice room, dinner, lovely breakfast. And now I'm ready for new adventures. Now we even get some sun. Long may it last. As Karina rightly pointed out, this is a historical moment. We've put on the sunglasses. This is probably the first time that Komoot has offered us a paved road, and we went for an alternative. Things we do for a little adventure. I'm not too sure whether I like that. How mucky do we want it? After our little adventure, we're back on tarmac. I'm sure we have a better chance of going places here and arrive with halfway dry shoes.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah, so.
This is our bridesmaid.
Haven't quite got the suntan on the dress this time.
From how many years ago?
Well,
17 years ago.
17,
Lovely Costa Rica.
18. Yeah.
What was the name of the beach?
Rajada Beach, and the sunset.
Did
on
you
it
hear what La
beautifully.
Rajada Beach means?
No.
Oh, there's a story about the man who cut his wife's head off.
Really?
And that stone on the beach was her head.
No, you're joking me.
Yes.
No, I never. I
La
didn't listen to that.
Rajada.
Somebody probably told me that, and then I completely chose to forget because I'd rather just remember it as the Sunset Beach.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Well, the famous British writer Thomas Hardy lived in this house. We swung by his birthplace yesterday, and this, just down the street from Clare, is where he lived. We're at the highest point probably of the trip, 245 metres above sea level.
You can see the sea,
Yeah. And we're at the Hardy Monument.
which isn't commemorating the writer. It's actually some flag captain or flag master that was on Nelson's ship at the Battle of Trafalgar, and Nelson died in his arms and said, "Kiss me, Hardy." True, I read it. Must be true, it's written.
Ooh. This is one of Court's shortcuts, and I really don't like it at all. Court has redeemed himself. He talked to Komoot. find another option. So this is our alternative to the busy main road. Garlic lined. Oh, unsuitable for cars. And what about bikes? Ah, shite.
Okay, so the other option is we go back to the road.
No.
Okay, then wherever it is.
That road was really no fun. I wonder why the lads were looking at us.
It's a bit too much love for my bicycle now. But I have to say, for kind of Sunday tours, we are still doing crazy stuff. Huh? I don't know if I should be proud of it.
Hello. Let there be no mistake. Dorset has its hills.
So this is the last day of cycling, about 60 kilometers. And I'm sure it's lovely countryside. And it's going to be up and down again. Oh, here we are on another beautiful quiet road. Quiet, I guess, because the cars can only make it downhill. It's so steep, and it goes all the way over the top of the hill.
Why is Exeter? For carpet, Exeter! I'm coming through to the footage.
It's wonderful and been there seeing you.
Ah, carpet, Exeter carpet. There you go, let's have a look. I knew it.
The excitement. You can grab it with your fingers. Yeah, thank you very much. That was lovely. Another little adventure. Oh, no. No, this is not the option here. Looks lovely. I have to say, do enjoy that. Speed up, Dorina. You know, there's a beer with my name on it waiting, and it's getting warm.
What's the beer?
Yeah.
You can get in a lot cheaper than I can.
Really? Does it cost money
Yes.
to get rid of your sins?
In medieval times, cattle was driven up that lane to be slaughtered up there, while the entrails were washed down the same lane again. All's well that ends well.
This is culture. Court is tackling the famous 99.
To give the trip a highlight at the end, we had a stopover in Brighton, a charming seaside town with all the sights you ever heard of. It's beautiful. I liked it. So we were tipped off to look for this Prince Albert pub to go and find a Banksy in Brighton. Here it is. Cool. I have to say, most of the time we enjoyed our trip in South England, despite the weather and some of the roads, despite the self-inflicted train journey. While I like the idea of traveling by train, if you come across contraptions like these, I mean, it's not something that you have to encounter if you fly with your bicycle. And Darina is delighted with her dinosaur bone discovery.
I'm happy with the vertebrae I found.
Good girl.